sit down.
And now, streaming live from the sunny Southern California coast, this is Options Uncensored.
Hey everybody, I'm Steve. Welcome to Options Uncensored. We're making real option trades in real time together. Let's get right into it. First things first, make sure you have your brokerage account open so you can follow along. Make sure YouTube video quality is set as high as possible. That way you can read the numbers a whole lot easier. Have a calculator nearby so we can do some easy math. And finally, remember, this is not financial advice. This is all for entertainment purposes only. All right, morning everyone. Let's look at our open positions. We had our gold short call spread fill. We'll go over that one in a second. Next one, we just have a T-bill auction tomorrow. That's skewed. SPY, we opened this one yesterday. We opened it at 65. Mark is now 60, so we're up $4 or $5 on that one. Roku, we're up $13 on that one as well. We're trying to get to 34. Mark is 54, $20 away. Micron's still down a little bit on this position, but that's okay. We're looking to get to 18, opened at 36. All right, cool. Let's really quick go over this gold position that filled this morning before we try to find something new. All right, to review, on the 13th here, when gold gapped up, we sold a call spread. We sold the 186 and bought the 191. So for a brief moment, as this moved against us, the 186 did get in the money very briefly for a day or two. And we were down about 100 or so bucks. But the thing about options, as time decays and volatility reduces, these positions become less valuable and we make our money. So even though we opened it here and it closed here today, shorting a call spread, we still made our money. Volatility for this entire week here, IV rank for gold was like in the 80s. Now it's well below 50, so you can't make a trade on gold anymore. But when gold does have high IV rank, you got to make some trades. Cool. So we made $25, risking 500. That's what, 5%? 25 divided by 500. Yeah, 5% on the nose. So not bad on that one. Cool. And if you opened any call spreads at any point of this time, you're probably out as well. That was November expiration. All right, next, let's find something new. We'll start with Roblox today. RBLX. This is post-earnings, I believe. It's up 18.5%. Let's look at the call side. This is still December expiration, 37 days to expiration. If we sold the 47.5, we got to go out at least that far and buy the 50. 90 minus 55 divided by 2 divided by 250. That's a 7% return. That's not bad. Where's 47.5 on the chart? 47.5 is right about here. It's awfully close. I don't know if I want to take that one. What about the put side? If you sold, 35's too close, and the 32.5 is too far out. So we'll skip this one. I'll make a note on this one for the call side, maybe. Next, we'll look at Rivian, RIVN. Earnings were yesterday after the close. Here's our chart. Looks like it gapped up and it's already sold off a lot today. So if you sold the call side at open, which is harder to do. I'm going to skip this one on the call side. The put side, you'd have to sell the 12.5 and buy the 10. You're not going to get paid for it, though. Next. BIIB, Biogen. This is earnings, I believe. Earnings were today before the open. Down with no bias on the calls or the puts for this one. Not a lot of volume either. Look at the spread. We'd want to sell the 215, but the spread is 144.20, so there's not enough volume, not enough liquidity here. Let's move on. Oxy. Earnings were yesterday after the close. Not a lot of movement here. On the call side, you'd have to sell the 67.5. Now, skip the call side on this one. On the put side, if you sold the 55 and bought the 50, what do you get? 36 minus 6, that's 30. Divided by 2, divided by 500, 3%. We'll skip the put side on Oxy. Post earnings, if it doesn't have a big enough move, all that volatility gets sucked out, and that goes with it the premium that we're looking for. Ralph Lauren, RL, is next. Post earnings. Same on this one, not a big enough move. You see how it's red on the put side and red on the call side? That means there wasn't a big enough move in either direction to make it worth doing a post-earnings trade. Next. Caesar. This is not post-earnings. I think they had some labor dispute for Las Vegas. Earnings are February 20th. So yeah, earnings were about a week ago. I think they were up bigger today, but they've already sold off. So there may be nothing here. Let's look at the call side. If you sold the 50 and bought the 55, that's 50. Minus 14 divided by 2 divided by 500, 3.6% if you sold the call side. We'll skip that. On the put side, you'd have to sell 39 and buy the 35. No, buy the 36. Sell 39, buy 36. That's 56. Minus 23 divided by 2 divided by 300. That's 5.5. That's not bad. Post earnings. Where's 39 on the chart? That's too close. 39 is right about here. That's fairly priced, but not something I want to take right now. Let's move on. DVA. Up 6%. This is post earnings. It's already sold off a little bit. On the call side, skip the call side. On the put side, if you sold the 75 and bought the 70, not a lot of volume here, not a lot of open interest. 70 minus 35. Divided by 2, divided by 500, only 3.5%. Skip the put side. Let's move on. Devon Energy, DVN. Earnings were yesterday after the close. Down before earnings, down on earnings, and down again today. Look at the call side here. Good liquidity. The 47.5 is too close to short, and the 50 is too far out to make it worth it. On the call side, skip the calls. Sorry, on the put side, skip the put side. Next one. Robinhood. Down 13%. We're going to skip this one. You'd have to sell the 7. You don't get paid for it. Skip Robinhood, even though it's post earnings and down big. Warner Brothers Discovery, WBD, another small stock. It's hard to do with these. We'll skip this one. And Paramount as well. I think Paramount's a $12 stock, right? Yeah, this is hard. When these stocks are smaller, trying to get above at least $40 or $50. You can't do anything. Kava. I think this is post earnings. Yes, yesterday after the close. selling off. On the call side, skip the call side, and on the put side, skip the put side. 25 is a little too close. A little too close for comfort. Next, we've got Toast, T-O-S-T, down big today. You need to sell the 12, but what are you going to buy? Call side has nothing. Okay, let's move on. Take two. TTWO. This is earnings are today. Surges on report of Grand Theft Auto 6. So we will follow up with this one tomorrow. This may spoil the earnings movement. Good liquidity here. It's okay liquidity. But we'll come back tomorrow morning and follow up with take two, okay? EXR is next. Earnings were yesterday after the close, so it's up big today. Let's look at the call side. Not enough liquidity. We'll move on. eBay. I think this is post earnings. They got murdered. Not bad, down 6%. Thought it was worse. Correct, this is post earnings. It's come back a bit so far today. And it should catch support around. Yeah, that makes sense where it caught support. Let's look on the put side. We may have already missed this one. Yeah, you'd have to sell the 35. Skip the put side. Call side. Sell the 42.5, but you don't get paid for it. Next one. Upstart. We've traded Upstart before. Down 26% today. Earnings were yesterday after the close. Here's our chart. We traded somewhere around here back in August. I think we saw the call spread back in August. Maybe the put side today. Strike is going to have to be far out on the strike, though. For December expiration, you'd have to sell the 15 and buy the 12.5. Is it worth it? It's good liquidity. 28 minus 8. 28 minus 8 divided by 2 divided by 250. Nah, it's only a 4% return. What about the call side? If you sold the 27.5 and bought the 32.5, that's 80 minus 29 divided by 2 divided by 500. 5% on the nose there. That's barely what we're looking for. Where's 27.5 on the chart? 27.5 is right on the 200-day moving average, right about here. It's not bad. If only 5% though. Let's move on. Microsoft, been trying to sell the call side. Just keeps moving up and up and up. Earnings are in January, so we got plenty of time for earnings. Here's the chart. Close to an all-time record high. It had a closing high. Oh no, it didn't have a closing high yesterday. Yeah, it did. So it's had a closing high. Let's look at the call side right now for December expiration. If you sold the 385 and bought the 390, it's 171 minus 110. Divide that by 2, divide that by 500. 6.1% if you sold the call side right here. 385 on the chart. 385 is right about here. Doesn't mean it can't get there by December expiration. Good liquidity. We'll mark this one, come back later at the end of the show. We'll either do Roblox or Microsoft. Next is XOP. This is an oil and gas ETF, so we'll have no earnings to worry about for this one. Down big 3-4 days in a row here, so may catch a bounce, maybe around 136-ish. Let's look at the put side. If you sold the 125 here, sold the 125 and bought the 120, that's 107 minus 55 divided by 2 divided by 500, 5.2%. That's not bad for an ETF. What about the call side? If you sold the 150 and bought the 155, that's 125 minus 63, divide that by 2, divide that by 500, 6.2%. So you get paid more if you sell the call side. Where's 150 on the chart? 150 is all the way up here. That's interesting. You definitely get paid more to take the call side risk, but it's already had this big movement down. Could bottom out and keep moving up. I don't know. We'll hold on this one. Datadog, this is following up from yesterday. Tried to sell the call side, I think, yesterday. Would have been a good move. We didn't pull the trigger, though. I think we're trying to sell the 110 or the 115. Well, if you sold the 115 today and bought the 120, what do you get? That's 104 minus 58 divided by 2 divided by 500. Only 4.6% if you sold that one. On the put side, if you sold the 87.5 and bought the 82.5, that's 109 minus 54 divided by 2 divided by 500. 5.5% if you sold the put side. I'm not crazy about either one of these at this point. It would have had to make the move yesterday. I'm going to take Datadog off the list. All right. We're done with my list. Let's go to our IV rank scanner. And we will sort by volume. NVIDIA has earnings coming up. It's going to be a lot harder to find stuff now since we're past the majority of earnings and we're heading into the holiday season, so there's not a lot going on. NVIDIA's earnings are coming up. Roblox, we already looked at that one. Lucid, it's a $4 stock. The TLT still has high IV rank. Let's look at the TLT. Wouldn't mind selling something on the call side. I know it's moved up a bit. I've traded the TLT before. You don't get paid a lot, and it moves very slowly. If you sold the 94 and bought the 99, that's 53 minus 14 divided by 2 divided by 500. Not even 4%. Skip the call side. What about the put side? If you sold the 83 and bought the 78, I guess. 42 minus 11 divided by 2 divided by 500. Even worse, 3.1% if you sold the put side. So we're going to skip the TLT for now. I think you just need to wait for it to either have a bigger movement up till around 93 or so and then sell a call spread, or wait for another big move down if it could break that 2007 low. Okay, that's what we're kind of waiting for. Affirm. Earnings are today after the close, so we'll follow up tomorrow with Affirm. Disney has earnings as well after the close today. Hopefully we get a big movement because then we can make a trade. I like trading Disney. Marathon, $8 stock. Toast, Riot. We already looked at Toast today. Spirit Arrow. We've traded that one before, but it's been a while. SPR. Down 15% today. You'd have to sell on the put side the 17. You just don't get paid for it. The call side, you'd have to sell the 25. And it's too illiquid. Back to the list. GM, no. Snowflake has earnings on the 29th. We're kind of waiting for that one as well. Lilly. Still high IV rank with Lilly post earnings. Too illiquid. Let's look at Novo as well, NVO. Same thing, too illiquid. Silver. Chewy. Chewy has earnings December 6th. We're about a month away. The XLU. I think we looked at that one yesterday. Twilio has earnings after the close today. Take Two as well. Unity is tomorrow after the close. USO. We already looked at XOP. Walmart has earnings on the 16th. Let's take a look at Gilead. There's an event on the 10th. The American Association for the Study of Liver Diseases. GILD. Earnings for Gilead they were yesterday, after the close. Down big today. It looks like there's already been some buying. Let's look at the put side. 72.5 is awfully close. 70 is too far out. We're 72.5 on the chart. Right down here. That seems very fairly priced. We'll skip this one. Very close, but no cigar. And phase no. Pfizer, we've looked at that one already. Novo, we just looked at. Moderna. They have an event as well. Let's look at Moderna, mRNA. Okay, liquidity here. You'd have to sell the 60 and buy the 55. On the put side, let's take a look at the chart really quick. And we are post earnings, so that's great. Oh boy. Ugly chart. It's catching a bounce here. If not, around 58, 59. What would the strikes be on the put side? You have to sell the 60 and buy the 55. $60's right about here. That makes sense. If we sold the 60. If you sold the 60, that's 100. second. 100 minus 47 divided by 2 divided by 500. Only 5.3% there. On the call side, if you sold the 85 and bought the 90, it's 110 minus 57 divided by 2 divided by 500. 5.3%. No good. Let's go back to Microsoft. I think I like that one the best. We sold the call side for December. If we sold the 385 and bought the 390, do the math one more time. That's 178 minus 116 divided by 2 divided by 500. 6.2%. I like that one. 385 on the chart. Really quick. One more time. Right up here, right? 385. That seems fair. Doesn't mean it can't get there, that's for sure. Okie dokie. Sell the 385 and buy the 390. We'll go to verticals. 385, 390. We'll sell 1 December 385 call and buy 1 December 390 call. Limit credit. We'll go for the ask of 65. Okay. Preview that. I'll double check the ticket here really quick. Sell 1 Microsoft December 385 call to open. Buy 1 Microsoft 390 call to open. We're risking $500 minus the credit to make what, 65 to $31, okay? We'll go ahead and send that out. Receive a credit. This will hang open here. What time are we at? 7:41. All right. Anything else? Avago. We already looked at DaVita. Micron, we already have a position open. Schwab. SEHW. I think we looked at Schwab yesterday. Earnings are in January. I'd like to sell the call side here too. May have already missed it though. It's already down 4 days in a row. Microsoft got filled. Let's set a buy to close order. We'll set the close order together, and then we'll call it for today. So we're doing the reverse of what we just did when we got filled. We'll buy 1 December 385 call and sell 1 December 390 call. Limit debit now. What did we say, 31 cents? Hold on. 65 divided by 2, 32. So we'll set this as 32 cents. Okay, and we'll set the duration as good till canceled, so it'll be open up here every day for the next 60 days or till expiration. Okay, I'll preview this. Buy 1 to close, sell 1 to close at 32. We're good to go. This will hang open here with the rest of them for the next couple days, weeks, however long it takes. Okay, and if we get into trouble, we can always roll. I think that'll do it for today. Finally out of that gold trade. Thank goodness. That one was exciting. Moved against us a lot, but finally came back in our favor and we made our money. Nice job. If you enjoyed watching that trade, got a Venmo up above. If you want to send me $1 or something, help support me, help support the channel, and I appreciate it very much. What really helps is if you tune in every day and subscribe and get alerts. We go live every morning, 7:15 a.m. on the West Coast, 10:15 a.m. on the East Coast. Follow along every day. Tell your friends that are trading options too to tune in. We can all trade and learn together. Thanks so much, guys. We'll see you tomorrow morning.